I just did a meditation and I had to lie down because I felt nauseous. I'm actually shaking right now. Yeah. Wow. It's like my insides are like shaking. This is what I did. Basically, I need to lay down when I say this because I can't sit up right now. I activated the emotional body. I channeled it through the physical body. I then channeled it through the nerves into my stomach. But first I built it in my heart. And I also... Okay, I'll tell you what I did. I channeled... Okay, first I stood up. And I pulled in all of the life force energy into my body. That's around me. I pulled it in from through the walls, from outside, into my body. I could feel it. I don't mean imagine and get all caught up in the woohoo and all that stuff. No, I literally feel everything without seeing it. I can see it if I want to, but I receive everything. I can feel it run through me. It's like a cold air chill. And I don't mean like just chill up your spine. I mean literally, I can feel air, cold air coming in and out of my body. Those of you who have taught this too understand what I'm talking about. I pulled it all into my body. And I pulled it through the pathways in my body. As I'm pulling it through the pathways of my body, I pull it near the pathways of my emotional body. And I tried to connect the pathways of my life force body to my emotional body. And then I increased the emotional body. And I sucked in all of the life force energy through those pathways. And I added it into the emotional body, which existed within my physical body, into the pools of energy. I then completely sealed everything off once I had enough. And I pushed it all down, channeled it down into my stomach. And then as I did that, I felt 2 spots in my stomach light up and become active. And then from I'm gonna be honest with you, my penis and that whole organ, basically anything that exists within my hip bone, that hollow, you got the hip bone and it's like a basket, all of the organs in there started vibrating really fast, as if it felt as if it was phasing out of reality, like as if it was vibrating so quick and building up so much energy as if it was just going to disappear. And it started to grow, that vibration feeling, with that whole lower half up into my stomach, and it was creeping down my legs and expanding. My whole body didn't get all the way there, because as this thing was permeating throughout my organs, turning everything into this weird vibration, I started to shake and I started to feel really nauseous and sick. So I stopped doing the meditation and I just laid down, and right now I can just feel it all surging through me. I might make this my mission to get my entire body like this, because as this surge grew, I can still feel the energy in me now, and it's shaking my insides and my hands. I'm gonna see if I can make this really grow. I understood whilst I was doing this practice what I was doing. It was a weird knowing. And by the way, before I did that, I laid on my back and I did the organ thing I was talking about, and I channeled it down my spine, and my spine went hot, and I was just laying there with a hot spine, and I was building the energy up in my spine. And that was before I just did this meditation. It didn't help at all. Still a lot of energy. I'm gonna continue. Not now, because right now I feel sick. I've got too much energy in me right now. I'm gonna continue in the morning, or maybe perhaps, in the morning, I don't want to push it. I'm going to wake up at 5:45 because I got a delivery coming, a food delivery at 6 o'clock. Between 6 and 7. They'll come at like 6, they're always really early. I'll wake up at 5 to 6 in the morning anyway, every morning. Just want to get to bed at a certain time, and then I'll progress. But guys, if I get my whole body like this, I don't know what's gonna happen. When I just get here down to here, it goes through and in the organs. Everything vibrates so fast. My camera cut off the last recording because it said the card was full. I'm gonna have to move all this info onto another thing, a backup hard drive, so it doesn't delete everything. Itchy head. So yeah, that part of my body was vibrating so much I couldn't feel the individual organs, my intestines and so forth. So I'm gonna see what happens if I can build it up within the week. I'm gonna try tomorrow a few times throughout the day, and honestly, I felt like I was about to black out. I was becoming so nauseous. So I wonder what's gonna happen if I build up enough. What would happen to my physical body? Would I die physically? Will I just leave the body? What? Would I transform to something? What would happen if my whole body felt like that? Would I disappear and show up somewhere else? It's a quantum mechanics thing, I think. I think it's the atoms. They're vibrating and changing frequency. What would happen? Like, seriously. It's either I die, or I black out, or I teleport. It's one of those three that I can think of. Spontaneous human combustion? I hope not. But I'm willing to go there just in case. You know, I'm willing to try. Yeah, we'll see. I'll tune in tomorrow. Again, I'm not going to post these videos until I said in my last one I will post these videos at some point, but I'm going to keep a log first and just get really far in this, then I'll start uploading. That way I don't feel like I have to keep practicing for your sake. You know, and that may sound a little bad, but honestly, I'm doing this for me. And that's what makes me motivated. If I know people are waiting for certain videos like this and they're waiting to hear my progress, it feels like I'm going to have to do it for them. And that takes out the fun. It turns my focus from being more self-focused to being more, I have to do something for someone else. And when I get like that, it feels more of a drain, and it's just less fun. So I'll record a bunch of stuff dealing with my progress, and then I'll piece it together. Whoa, jeez. That didn't feel too good. Alright. How do I look on camera? I look tired. I've been going through a detox recently. And I got these marks on my head because I tried this skin cleaning method that this guy talks about, where you massage like real deep under the tissue. And I went too deep and I ended up damaging the skin, and now I've got this dry, like, micro scab on top, which has made it dark here and here and here. It'd be gone in like a week, because my skin is like that. It just sheds like a snake, and then it's really clear. I know it sounds disgusting, but my face is like that. My physical body isn't, though. Oh, wow, I feel so energized, guys. So you know what I'm going to try and do? If I don't teleport, disappear, or die, or just pass out with this energy, I'm going to try and vibrate at it, and then we'll try hold it in myself. Just shut off my aura, shut off all the bodies, and just hold it in this bottle, and just walk around vibrating. I wonder if I'll levitate. I've heard of people vibrating at a frequency where they can levitate. Then I've heard of people who are able to set things alight. I'm getting ahead of myself now. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll see you guys. Peace. I need good lighting, but I'm naked. I don't want to be seen in the flesh. Yeah, this will do. So, there we go. Bit of daylight. So, I woke up at about 5 o'clock and I answered the door for the grocery man. And before I decided to start working, I decided to watch some anime. This is a particular anime I started watching, and I've told people the reasons as to why I watch these kind of things, and this is a perfect example of what happened. So in this anime, I've gotten to the point where this guy has this incredible amount of life energy, and he punches this other guy, and it ends up blowing open his chi channels, ki channels. And these chi or ki or real or Kundalini, whatever you want to call it, these life force energies that flow through somebody. I've recently had a session and I blew open some in a client of mine. A long time ago, when I was first influenced into even trying to discover my own ki channels, I blew open the ones in my hands. Late last year, I blew open the ones in my fingers. And here's the thing, guys. They only opened because I was paying attention to those areas of my body. That's how I discovered them. So I'm sat there watching this anime, and I remember a moment within the anime before I saw that scene where this master doesn't punch his students to open them. Instead, he puts his hand on their back and just blasts his own ki inside their body. And that's more than enough to open up their channels within their body forcefully. And then that triggers something in my mind. These animes, they cause me to remember things. And because they cause me to remember things, I can better think about, okay, what if I did it again? So what I did was I got up and I decided to force chi energy, throughout my arm, right? I went like that and I blasted it through my hand at first, and then I went through the channels of my hand, and along here and along here there are also channels, and my fingertips and the backs of my hands where my knuckles are, and also my thumb. And I could feel where the energy wasn't, right, where it constricted, like going through a tube, and that was my forearm. And then there was one under my armpit that I discovered that I didn't know was there before. And I basically worked my way up each muscle group, each part of the body, my head inside the face, all the way down the left side of my body. Then I worked down the right side of my body. And I also found some more on the back of my head in 2 places, and in the front in 2 places. The top one was closed off because it's always closed off unless I channel the rest of them up my spine. Otherwise it just flows around my head. And I also found one by the gooch area, which is basically just it's below the anus. If you know these kinds of areas of the body, then you know what the gooch is, right? Basically, there's one right there where a lot of energy just seeps out. And there's one above the pelvic bone, about an inch above the pelvic bone, where energy just seeps out. And there's also a big one about 2 inches above the belly button, which energy again just seeps out. And then there's one at the chest. And then there are also 2 here, and there's 1 here. There's about 4 down the bottom side of the left-hand side of my back, okay, by the spine on the left-hand side on the bottom, just below the rib cage. And there's a couple on the right-hand side further up. Basically, I discovered a lot more in my body. Even on the feet, I discovered ones above the feet, on top of the feet, ones that align on the bottom of the balls of my foot along with the ankle. Usually I just unlocked the toes with the fingers that I did late last year, but this time I opened everything. Also, there are ones on the legs, on the thighs themselves, just above the knee, but they're smaller. You see, I discovered the fact that each hole, there are, when it comes to the systems, there are bigger holes, like huge, where a lot of energy just seeps out, about the same mass and diameter as my hand, and that would be the hand ones, the center of the hand ones, the center of the feet, the one by the gooch, like I talked about, the one 2 inches above the pelvic bone. And the really big one so far, I think it's on par with the other two largest ones of my body, would be the stomach, just above the navel basically. The navel, my crown, and yeah, the navel and the crown are the two biggest ones in my whole body. Next would be the gooch, the one above my pelvic bone, and then would be the hands and the feet. And then you had the smaller ones which went down the channel of my back, which would also coincide with the ones on my legs and the ones on my arms. Oh yeah, one more thing, almost forgot. The one under my armpit was actually slightly bigger than the ones on my hands. So I noticed all of these other holes basically as portholes. Now, why am I doing this before this camera dies? Well, when you unblock these, you can pull in more energy because you're basically unblocking the plumbing in your energy system. I've been living my entire life with certain energy seeping through without my knowing, and I have been blocked up energetically on some levels that I didn't even know existed. Right now I can feel all the energy centers that I burst open, constantly flowing with key energy right now as I'm standing here. So hopefully this should help with my Kundalini rising and attaining a higher frequency of energy. But yeah, that's what I did this morning. It's now around about 13 minutes past 8. I'm going to put my camera down. Not really sure why I said that, but I'll pick it up when I next figure something out. Okay? Peace.